Now we're going on to this other chapter called Influencer. Tom Power is both insightful and cutting in his bluntness on this chapter. Meghan is just shameless in the self-promotion. She's not deterred. It seems like rejection only fuels her ambitions, because here we have, it didn't work out for me in England. Sunshine Sachs is not doing all they could for me, but it's fine. I'll make my own way in the world. I'll become an influencer. So on her 33rd birthday, on August 2014, so about a year after she'd been in England, under the headline, Birthday Suit, she posted a seductive topless side shot of herself. And her self-justification for self-objectifying was pertinent. She says, I don't see beauty and empowerment as separate things. Self-empowerment and women's rights, I put them in the beauty section. Okay, if that's what you got to tell yourself. If you need to put up a picture of yourself without a shirt on to get attention so that you feel better about yourself, that is not self-empowerment. If you need other people to tell you how to feel about yourself, that is not self-empowerment. And if you get off on looking at pictures of yourself without your clothes on, you have deeper problems than any of us can solve. Whatever she wants to tell herself, but I am so annoyed by people who post pictures of themselves clearly to get attention and then say they did it for themselves. Okay, well then take a few extra minutes to look at yourself before you hop in the shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's all just for you, then why do I need to see it? Okay, anyway. She's just not sure how long this whole Suits gig is gonna last, you know? And so she's got to decide, she's got to make her own way in the world. Suits could dry up at any moment. You know, and that's the problem with being an actor, because you just never know when it's all going to end. But Meghan decided that she should register a couple of websites so that maybe she can come up with some kind of lifestyle brand. Listen to the names of some of these websites that she registered. I mean, the TIG's bad enough. But she's got Posh Beauty, blah, Fork Me, Spoon Me, Lolly Tots, and Foodie Pup. Foodie Pup, Lolly Tots, what is that? Fork Me, Spoon Me? It's so lame, you guys. It's so lame, it's so lame. I don't even have words. My vocabulary is drying up. My mind cannot comprehend. Okay, so she just got to leverage her celebrity. That's the thing. She's got to make herself a household name. And so, she decides that this is the path she's going to go down. Of course, it's not an original idea. What celebrity among us now doesn't have some kind of lifestyle brand, something that they're over here chucking in our face 24/7 just to keep themselves relevant? And Meghan's big skill was to copy what she'd seen going on around her. So she sees, you know, that this is the next thing. This is what you do between projects. You promote yourself in other ways. And she had a couple of friends who were also in the self-promotion business. Sophie Trudeau's over here trying to establish herself as a gender equality activist. And then her other friend, Jessica Mulroney, is over here trying to find some kind of online identity. And so Meghan realized that the trick that you need is to establish some kind of a brand. What's my brand? And so she decided that she was going to have some kind of blog about her opinions and lifestyle. She was going to promote fashionable causes and, you know, do endorsements and all this sort of stuff. For the first year, none of her websites took off. What a surprise. I mean, would you click on something called Foodie Pups? That sounds dangerous. Fork Me, Spoon Me? Ew, I don't know where that's going, but I'm not sure that I want to find out. So I'm not surprised things didn't go well for her. And inspiration junkie, I mean, she would be. Remember when she tells Harry that she's going to go on the whole, like, eat, pray, love journey? That is just so typical Meghan, I cannot even. I remember when I made that video, a bunch of people were like, you know, it's not just a movie, it's a book. Yeah, I know it's a book. I just can't imagine being inspired by it. Okay, anyway, so the next big idea, the website that finally takes off, is she has this website called The TIG. And it's named after this Italian wine, Tinanello. Now, I don't even know if that's the right pronunciation, but I do know the G is silent in that word. So the fact that she calls the website The TIG is even more embarrassing, since she's the one that's always talking about how she is so cultured. She knows what's going on in the world of food and wine. But you named your website after a wine in which the G is silent, but it certainly isn't silent in the TIG. Anyway, she's working with this guy named Jake Rosenberg. He's a Canadian-born designer of Couture magazine. So it's not like she's over here doing it by herself. This isn't some sort of homespun endeavor. She launches it in May 2014, and she describes herself as the editor-in-chief of this lifestyle brand. It's a website to flaunt wealth, luxury clothes, a glamorous jet-setter's lifestyle, wellness. The TIG, she wrote, is a hub for the discerning palate, those with a hunger for food, travel, fashion, and beauty, and to be a breeding ground for ideas and excitement, for an inspired lifestyle. Well, I'm not inspired by this phrase, a breeding ground for ideas. Do you know what a breeding ground is? It's disgusting. Meghan is just no writer. That's just all it comes down to. What kind of a visual, what kind of mental visual is that? All right, whatever. Meghan's routine continues on. She goes to the studio in the morning, then she goes to the gym after that, and then it's straight home to find content for the website. The girl is not lazy when it comes to this. I mean, she's like slogging to get this website off the ground. And she is an assiduous researcher. She combs all kinds of things, the highbrow magazines, the lowbrow magazines. She's looking for snippets everywhere. She's trawling websites all over the idea, looking for free products from luxury brands in exchange for promoting handbags and various clothing items. She's emailing endless celebrities for comments and endorsements. I mean, the girl is working her fingers to the bone. She's just trying to build up her credibility. And the thing is that she needs to have some pictures of her with celebrities. Like, that's the problem. Like, it's all well and good for her to be over here pretending, but she's got to have evidence that these people are her friends. And so to build her credibility, she's trying to associate with stars, get photographs of them to prove their friendship. And the celebrity hunter's strength was to seize every opportunity and never take no for an answer. So she's over here trying to find an in to where there might be celebrities so that she can get some pictures with them. She finds herself at this soccer match at New York's Pier 40 on the Hudson River. And one of the people there in attendance was Serena Williams. Okay, well, then Meghan bumps into Serena Williams and then has this whole thing on her website about how she and Serena are besties. Yet somehow there is no photo evidence of this. Although she says in the piece on her website, we hit it off immediately, taking pictures, laughing and chatting. Not about tennis or acting, but about good old-fashioned girly stuff. We began our friendship. Noticeably, though, there's no photo of Meghan and Serena, even though Meghan's like, we were just laughing, talking, snapping selfies. Well, where are these selfies then? Okay, well, Brett Ratner. Do you guys remember that guy who threw all the parties that Meghan would go to and stay till dawn? Well, he dated Serena Williams. And he says Serena never mentioned Meghan Markle a day in her blessed life. And even though Meghan had never held a tennis racket and had no reason to ever run into Serena for any reason, she claims that she and Serena were united by their endless ambition. Well, Serena Williams has some natural skills and talents. She doesn't have to just be like crazy, ambitious, and wild and weird and trying to promote herself all the time, because she's got real skill level. I'm sure you both are ambitious, but in very different ways. Also, she wanted to promote the idea that she and Ivanka Trump are great besties. She says, she writes on her website to her readers, when we have drinks, I will make sure I order whatever she does, because this woman seems to have the formula for success and happiness down pat. Oh, is that where you start ordering the same drink as the other girl, and then suddenly you'll have the formula for success and happiness? This is such boring writing. I cannot even imagine. Can you imagine every day being like, I'm gonna log in and see what she has to say on the TIG? Did any of y'all read that like legitimately? Because if you did, maybe I'm missing something. But I just can't imagine anybody tuned into that website because they just loved what Meghan had to say. Meghan realized that to get readers, and apparently she was amassing some following. I think by the end of it, she had like 100,000 followers, which is not nothing. But she realized that the way to get people pulled in was to sort of conjure up sort of an intimate, personal revelation style of writing. She would lace it with colorful fantasies. There didn't need to be a whole lot of truth to any of it. I mean, like, you know, Meghan just did not have a totally faithful relationship to the truth on this website. I mean, she would tell you a lot of things that had like versions, flavors, shades of the same color, but not the truth. And I mean, you see this, we saw this in the very beginning chapter when she wrote the story about how her dad gave her the Barbie doll set that had, you know, white Barbies and black Barbies in the set, the family set, so that she could, you know, it would be a mixed race Barbie set. And she really writes it in what a whole other way than it really happened. So it's like she's kind of telling the truth, but it's like if it's going to be more appealing, she'll change the facts if need be. You know, she's just looking for content here. She presented herself as a racy Hollywood goddess. She mentioned her love of good food, copious amounts of rosé, spicy tequila cocktails, and neat scotch. Describing herself in one post as a saintly hippie, she disparaged fancy restaurants and pledged herself as good company, embracing every little second of it. I just find this nauseating. And I gotta tell you, if somebody wants to sit there and tell me that they are all about copious amounts of rosé, I mean, I'm out. I am out. That is such a cliche. Like, come on, get a personality. Oh, it's just horrible. Okay, but then listen, she goes on her website to tell us about her ideal man. And this harkens back to how she wants to marry or meet or date an Englishman because they use the word darling and they love a compliment. Like, very low standards here. Okay, she says, dressed in a linen shirt, him barefoot on the beach, eating a slice of pizza, inviting me back for a drink on the way home. This is all that it takes for her. She writes, presents of lingerie from him are always nice. I want a bold adventurer. And she writes, I think it's important to roll with the punches and enjoy every minute of it. If he makes me laugh, that helps. This is all it takes? A man in a linen shirt eating pizza on the beach, asks you for, if you want to go home, buys you, you know, some new panties, and this is it for you? I'm sorry, what? Meghan, you want more though, right? Surely, you want more. That's it for you though? If he makes me laugh, you know, that's cool too. Oh gosh. But the result of the website, it just reflects a woman who just has very commercial sensitivity. A chancer with a very limited sense of humor. This is what Tom Bauer writes. She's a chancer with a very limited sense of humor. And I have to say I agree, because nothing that she says here is designed to ever rock the boats or be interesting of any kind. It's not interesting to just say the same things everybody else is saying. Nobody's going to tune in for that for long. You know, you might, I mean, after a while, people can only care so much about your crisp white duvets and your glass of rosé. Okay, so anyway, on her 33rd birthday, she gives us this little post, you know, with the side boob, and then she wants to talk about her recipe for happiness. And she gives us this long litany, like she's really come upon the answers in life. But all you can do is read it and be like, no, this is what you are wishing you felt, but you don't feel this way. She writes, you need to know that you're enough. A mantra that has now ingrained itself so deeply within me that not a day goes by without hearing it chime in my head. That 5 pounds lost won't make you happier. That more makeup won't make you prettier. And the now iconic saying from Jerry Maguire, you complete me, frankly isn't true. You are complete with or without a partner. You are enough just as you are. So for my birthday, here's what I would like as a gift. I want you to be kind to yourself. I want you to challenge yourself. I want you to stop gossiping, to try a food that scares you, to buy a coffee for someone just because, to tell someone you love them, and then to tell yourself right back. I want you to find your happiness. I did, and it's never felt so good. I am enough. Is that why you're trotting around England trying to find Ashley Cole, who could care less about you? Is that happiness? If that's happiness, no thank you. No. I won't have a slice of happy pie. No, no, thank you. Can you imagine? Like, Meghan, everything that you're saying here are things that you wish were true about yourself. You wish that you felt like you were enough. You wish that you didn't believe that last 5 pounds would make a difference. You wish you didn't have to put on so much eye makeup. You wish all of these things were true. You're complete with or without a partner. Then why are you looking for a man? This is not true stuff. This is what you know you're supposed to say. For my birthday, I would really like you to give yourself the gift of saying you love yourself. No, you don't. Nobody wants that for their birthday. Where are my presents? Okay? Just stop with this. This is so stupid. And I think this is the thing that offends me the most. It's that she believes that women out there are stupid enough to be okay with this vapid foolishness. I hate that women that women do this to each other. You are not stupid. And by me saying, let's talk about rosé and that we're enough with our pictures of side boobs, like, that is offensive. Women, we are too smart to settle for this kind of stupidity, okay? Where's the meaty conversations? Where's the truth? Where's the interesting dialogue? We are so much more than paint colors on a wall and fluffy duvets. And here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with enjoying beauty. There's nothing wrong with enjoying food and wine and good times. Absolutely nothing. But like this kind of vapid talk about, I want you to stop gossiping. I want you to try a food that scares you. I want you to tell somebody you love them and say it right back to yourself. Ladies, come on. Isn't that annoying when another woman talks to you like this? It's just like so boring. Okay, rant over. But as Tom Bauer, oh, I love this man. He writes and he says, the homily on the TIG did not always entirely reflect her own life or occasionally even her personal values. As a purely commercial venture, she understood her market and how to compartmentalize between her real life and the fantasy life she offered her increasing number of followers, which was now heading towards 100,000 mark. Conjuring fantasies was her unique selling point. The most noteworthy in Meghan's list, composed for A Guide to Living Well, was the entry under the heading Non-Negotiable. Kindness. Oh, that's a non-negotiable, is it? All right, well, that's interesting because we don't see a whole lot of kindness in the way that you've dealt with your father, your best friend, your ex-husband. Anyway, this summer that she launches this TIG, she meets this guy named Corey Vidiello, who was a Toronto restaurateur who was famous for his burgers and his clientele. He was this handsome 35-year-old guy, and he welcomed Hollywood celebrities who were filming in Toronto to the Harvard Room. Corey was known for dating several well-known Canadian women. One of them was this multi-millionaire businesswoman and politician. So he had some cachet, I guess, in Meghan's opinion. In July, after eating at his restaurant with the Suits cast, Meghan wrote a gushing review in the TIG. Corey was dubbed my very favorite chef. Like she even knows that many. Shortly afterwards, Corey ended his relationship and started to date Meghan. And she made a good selection when she met Corey because he was the one who opened all sorts of doors for her. Bauer writes, through Corey, the life and soul of many parties and sought after by many women, Meghan was introduced to everyone in Toronto. Swiftly, she became a fixture of the city's social life. Pertinently, Corey was never featured on the TIG. And the transactional nature of Meghan's relationships with men and women, keeping Corey anonymous, was compatible with her own search for fame. So again, we see her. She's just using this guy. What connections does he have? How can he further her career? How can he further what she knows about food? How can he help her lifestyle brand? How can he help her get to know people? That's the end of that chapter.